If you only knew the power of
indie books.
Yo, what is going on? Thank you so much for joining in. So, if you joined me last month in terms of my last Indieverse episode, you would know we covered 17 brand new or upcoming indie books. Well, we're going to do the same thing here again, covering even more indie books that should be on your radar. I was so impressed last month with the quality of the books. I'm really looking forward to seeing what new books I should add to my personal TBR and yours as well. So if you're ready, let's dive into it. Alright, starting this thing off strong, we're going to talk about books I physically received from the authors. With the first one being a book that looks super awesome, Die Rock 88. I mean, look at this cover. This cover looks absolutely phenomenal. It's really working for me. We got this guy holding like this green looking lightsaber standing on a rock with this awesome looking spaceship just descending right in front of him. So this cover works for me big time. So let's go check it out on Goodreads. Alright, looking at this one on Goodreads, it's coming from an author named S.A. Ernster, which I believe is their debut novel right here, coming out just December 15th, so not that long ago at all. As darkness descends, Atlas must rise. In the sprawling tapestry of the Aurorian galaxy, Atlas Verdian dreams of escaping the junk-strewn life of the Savage Belt. However, his aspirations crumble when his father is arrested under suspicion of being the elusive terrorist Typhoon. Accused of aiding and abetting, Atlas is thrust into a relentless grip of the Horizon Corporation, condemned to toil for resources beneath the surface of a distant moon. Trapped in the dome of Die Rock 88, Atlas's destiny becomes entwined with the clandestine machinations of Vanguard, a shadowy black operation group. Their motives remain elusive. Atlas is the key. But to what? So yeah, so far, this is looking great. A debut novel here by a brand new author. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. And it's actually somewhat of a pretty beefy book, coming at around 500 pages, which is awesome. And looking at this one, I don't know if I can believe this review just yet. It could be someone review bombing. I'm not sure, but this person's giving it a 1 star with no explanation. So I'm still interested in reading it for sure. It looks awesome. The cover is epic. And the plot so far seems really interesting. Also, I am doing a giveaway here on the channel for this book right here because I have another copy coming to me here pretty soon. So I wanted to give this one away so that we can have an indie giveaway for an indie author so we can support them and their journey. So in order to win this book, all you gotta do is go follow me on X or Twitter and go like and comment on a post where I'm gonna talk about this giveaway right here and you can win Die Rock 88. Alright, the next physical book that I received was Lost Souls by Ryan Skeffington. This is a book you can tell that I'm actually currently reading right now. I am almost done, and this is becoming one of my top reads of the year so far. It's truly amazing. So looking at this one on Goodreads right now, it's sitting at a 4.33 with 3 ratings, 2 reviews. I can tell you that my review, when I post this thing here pretty soon after I finish the book, is probably going to be pretty high. So look forward to that. But looking at this one, this came out back in October of this year, so not that long ago at all. Living on the Premier Ring, Maximus, a brilliant engineer, hungers for more than the monotony of daily existence mandated to him by those that control the ring. The relentless pursuit of infinite existence is a collective purpose assigned to all, but for Maximus, it's a hollow dream that leaves his soul yearning for its own legacy. Determined to escape his repetitive life, Maximus seeks out a destiny that will offer his life significance. This all sounds great. The book, where I'm at this point, has been fantastic. I cannot wait to finish this one and release an entire full-length review on this book here because it's just blown me away. And I totally recommend you putting this on your TBR right now. I mean, there's only 2 reviews on this book, and from what I've read so far, it's amazing. So I need you guys to go add this to your TBR right now because I hands down recommend it. You know, that is Lost Souls by Ryan Skeffington. Alright, the next book is going to be by T.A. Bruno, with that being Down, Below, Beyond. Now, if that is not a cool title, I don't know what is, because that just sounds cool. There's depth to this title, even though it's only 3 words. It's really working for me. The cover looks awesome. And looking at this one on Goodreads, it came out this year, so in July of this year. It's sitting at a 4.25 right now by Mr. T.A. Bruno. 37 ratings so far on a pretty newish book that came out in July of this year. Load Space is a collection of worlds dominated by the fencing fleet trade empire. Thanks to the Volantin portals, alien civilizations from all over the universe can gather for glorious trade. For the wealthy, there has never been a more lucrative circle. But the fleet is hiding something from its investors. A secret that, if exposed, could bring the empire to its knees. Levert Atera is a prospector of the planet Taxian. While scavenging the waste of the abandoned world, he discovers a mysterious starship and stakes his claim on it. Little does he know, he's just made himself the most wanted man in Load Space. All that sounds amazing. One thing though is I hope I read those words correctly. I'm sorry if I mispronounced those. You might see that happen a lot within this video, but I'm trying my best here, so work with me. And scrolling down a little bit, you can see that this is a standalone sci-fi fantasy adventure built of aliens, planets, and portals set in a universe by T.A. Bruno. So I'm super excited to check this one out. I've heard from a lot of people this is just an exciting, fun book to read through, which makes me even more excited to read his other book, which is called In the Orbit of Sirens, which his pitch to me in this one was that it was inspired by Dune and Hyperion. So when you use those two words there, you have my attention. Dune and Hyperion, two of my most favorite sci-fi books of all time. Yeah, I want to check that one out. So I'm excited to read Down Below Beyond, and then also In the Orbit of Sirens. Alright, the next book I'm going to talk about is a book I actually already read, with that being The Forsaken Planet by Bryan Wilson. So the reason why I'm talking about this one, because this one came out I think in June or July of 2023. Book number 2 in this series, which is called The Power of the Stars, is coming out early next year, I think in April, somewhere around there. But that book is called The Son of the Prophets, with an amazing looking cover that really intrigues me. But looking at The Forsaken Planet right now on Goodreads, you can see that it's sitting at a 4.28 with 27 reviews, 40 ratings, so super happy to see that. Came out, there we go, June of 2023, which is cool to see, 598 pages, so it is a pretty beefy book here as well. So when a mysterious aircraft wreaks havoc across Earth's skies, it is revealed that there are clusters of other planets where humankind resides, distant worlds where the people wield the power of the stars themselves. It is an energy force that can bring about miracles, or as the aliens' fleet ruthless leader displays, unleash horrors beyond imagination. So that is The Forsaken Planet, with book number 2 in the Power of the Stars series coming out early next year, so be on the lookout for that. And go check out The Forsaken Planet as well. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun to get through, and it should be on your TBR today. Alright, the next book is going to be by Laura Huie, with that being called The Sunset Sovereign. This is a awesome looking cover that looks like a painting that you would see in a museum or somewhere. It looks super cool. And Laura's telling us that it is her cozy fantasy palette cleanser because it's a short dragon book. The Sunset Sovereign, a dragon's memoir. And looking at The Sunset Sovereign on Goodreads, we can see that it's sitting at a 4.43 with 17 reviews, 21 ratings. When a dragon finds an assassin sneaking into his lair, he tells her of his life, work, and his soon-to-be final chapter. For the past 1,000 years, the dragon Bakindi has watched the people of Vakford grow from a wandering band of refugees to a glorious city of art and magic. Under his protection, the city has survived monsters, floods, and wars, all without building an army, dam, or even a wall. But time changes everything, and now the citizens of his beloved city want him dead. Bakindi spends his last days telling his assassin why he loves him and why it's his time to die. Wow. Yeah, that is sounding really cool. It definitely sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I also want to point out too that the interior artwork or the format of the book is really cool too. Where we have these mountains down here at the bottom. It looks super cool. We even have this little dragon right here that's a little bit shaded there on both of these pages. So a book that I'm super looking forward to checking out. And she was telling me that we should check it out whenever we have a reading hangover. So a good palate cleanser. And thank you again for sending this book as well. So that is The Sunset Sovereign by Laura Huie. The next book is going to be called Theft of Fire by Devon Ericksen. And this is a book that I've seen all over the interwebs because his wife does a fantastic job pushing out this book to the masses, with that being Christine Ericksen. So thank you again so much for sending this my way. It looks super interesting. And she's saying that husband's book came out last month and I'm still pretty excited about it. Well, I would be excited about it as well, and I am excited about it. So looking at this one on Goodreads, is sitting at a 4.52 right now with 61 ratings, 24 reviews. This also looks like it's going to be the first in an ongoing series called Orbital Space, with this being book number 1, of course. At the frozen edge of the solar system lies a hidden treasure which could spell their fortune or their destruction, but only if they survive each other first. Marcus Warnock has a little problem. His asteroid mining ship, his inheritance, his livelihood, and his home has been hijacked by a pint-sized corporate heiress with enough blackmail material to sink him for good. A secret mission she won't tell him about, and enough courage to get them both killed. She may have him dead to rights, but if he doesn't turn the tables on the spoiled Martian snob, he'll be dead, period. He's not giving up without a fight. Marcus Warnock, he has a plan. Miranda Foxgrove, she has a plan. Well, they're about to find out that a plan is a list of things that won't happen. So, yeah, definitely looking really interesting. Again, that is book number 1 in the Orbital Space series, Theft of Fire by Devon Ericksen. Well, the next book comes from Timothy Wolff, with that being Tears of the Maelstrom, which is book number 2 in an ongoing series called The Legacy of Bolum. This is a sequel to book number 1 being called Platinum Tinted Darkness. Both these really cool looking covers in a series that I'm really looking forward to getting into, with this one just coming out a few days ago. So I'm gonna go check out the first one in the series so I don't give away any spoilers for book number 2, with that being again called Platinum Tinted Darkness, sitting at a 3.88 right now with 67 ratings, 45 reviews. The kingdom of Bolum has been lost. The realms have already seen what happens when the gods and their harbingers are left unchecked. Destruction, chaos, death. The gods cannot be trusted. No one knows that better than David Williams, the leader of the Guardians tasked to protect the realm from the gods and their powerful harbingers ever since the fall of Bolum. 6 Guardians take their pledge to leave the squabbles of the kingdoms behind and live only to stop the harbingers and protect the realms from the gods. So this is looking really promising here, with this being book number 1 in the Legacy of the Bolum. And look at the second book so far, sitting really high with 9 reviews, 4.44, so that's really cool to see. So again, that is the Legacy of the Bolum series, so go check these books out today. Alright, next up is something that looks pretty new to me, but looks really cool, with that being a comic book hybrid coming from B.A. Turner, with that being All Vigilante's Creed.
Vigilante.
Which he's saying get over 500 pages of gargoyle escapism and vigilant justice. And don't forget about the 15-page mini-comic packed with eye-popping art. So yeah, this is an Indiegogo where you can go check out Vigilante Creed, which is a Lovecraftian tale about a gargoyle and his team of vigilants fighting terror in Detroit, with some really cool looking artwork here. It looks like the campaign is doing pretty well so far, with 100 backers for this thing so far, which is really cool to see. And scrolling down a little bit, you can get a little bit of a taste of what to expect in terms of the art within this book, which looks really cool here. It looks super detailed. It looks like a lot of fun too. Metaphysically bound to a divine grimoire as a result of sacrificing his life in exchange for another's, Slade Allen turns into a frightful gargoyle every night at the strike of midnight. Oh man, kind of sounds like Ghost Rider almost, but a gargoyle, which is also cool. So if you want to go learn a little bit more about Vigilante's Creed, go check out this Indiegogo campaign from B.A. Turner. Our next up is an author actually covered last month of a different series, but in this case, we're going to cover Kingdom of the Forgotten Curses, which is a paranormal romance and fantasy book. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling that came out just in October, so a couple months ago. And looking at this one on Goodreads right now, it's sitting at a 4.41 with 54 ratings, 48 reviews, which is great to see. The prince is a bloodthirsty soldier who enjoys death, fine wine, and the company of beautiful women. Until one fateful night when everything changes. 80 years later, the king's barrister, Marius, discovers a reference to the prince and is immediately set upon a mission of discovery by the king, much to the dismay of his 3 daughters. At the chateau, Marius makes a deadly mistake, and now someone must pay the price. Fans of Beauty and the Beast, Dracula, and romantic fairy tales, this is for you. So definitely go check this one out here. Again, that is Kingdoms of Forgotten Curses by A.R. Kaufer, so go check that one out today. Alright, the next book is coming from J.C.M. Berne, with that being Partial Function, which has an amazing looking cover with this freaking dinosaur on the cover, which is awesome, and this person holding this greenish power as well, so it's really intriguing. But J.C.M. Berne is telling us that they took her daughters. Will she trade the most powerful weapon in the martial world for their safe return, or use it to get retribution? You get one guess. Alright then. And looking at Partial Function on Goodreads right now, it's sitting at a 4.52 with 21 ratings, 17 reviews, and it's looking really awesome. Monster hunter Akina Azure inherited the most powerful weapon in the martial world before retiring to a peaceful life raising her twin girls. The Reaver has them kidnapped, thinking that Akina will trade that weapon for the safe return. Will she? Or will she use it to wreak a terrible retribution on the men who took her girls? You get one guess. So yeah, that looks super cool. I haven't seen a book with a dinosaur before in it in a long time, besides, you know, of course, Jurassic Park. So this really has my interest, and it should have your interest as well. So again, that's by JC and Berne. Partial Function, go check that one out today. But the next book comes from Corey Ratliff, which is a book number 2 in his Elmeranian Chronicles, with that being called The Bloods of a Withering Kingdom, which is set to release in May 2024, so mid next year, but I do believe the first book is out right now, with the first book being called Whispers of a World Breaker. It has an awesome looking cover here, sitting at a 4.62, 31 reviews, 42 ratings. Eric's job is simple: assist the elves as they move dragon eggs across the kingdom. When an orc raid leaves a dragon in peril and her egg is vulnerable, the responsibility falls into Eric's hands to complete the mission. But when the dragon hatches, Eric's life is thrown into disarray. Accused of being the world breaker of an old prophecy by the elves, sought after by the ever-growing orc clans of vengeance, as vengeance against the elves, and desired by the human kings and queens for power, Eric will stop at nothing to protect his new dragon. It may be the only thing that can turn the tides of the war. Can Eric fight fate and save the world, or is he destined by the whispers of the world breaker? So yeah, this looks like a super promising series here by Corey Ratliff. And I believe there's also a prequel novella that you can check out too, with that being called Ashes of a Risen Empire, an Elmeranian novella, which I believe is around 70-ish pages, around the 100-page mark, somewhere around there. But it has a 3.67 right now, 12 ratings, 10 reviews, so if you want to go check out Corey Ratliff's work, this might be a great place to start. But the next book is coming from TJ Marquez, with that book being called Fear the Four Towers. And he's telling us that it's an intense sword and sorcery with prominent metaphysical themes. Would love to see more people enjoy. Well, I can tell you that based off this cover, it looks like something that I would definitely enjoy here. And looking at this one on Amazon right now, this is book number 1 in a series called Heroes Metal. I don't want to spoil anything here, so I'm going to go to book number 1 here, which is called How Black the Sky, which also has a very cool looking cover as well. It's very, very epic looking, with this crazy looking skeleton creature thing here in the background with this glowing blue sword. This guy racing up a mountain to fight him, so very cool looking here. A young spell sword looking to prove his mettle stumbles on the news of imminent doom. Falling in with the legendary warriors from the Overland, Pierce heralds the coming attack from the hollow earth below. His new friends are Gorgabane. Once mercenaries, now heroes. They are the only thing standing between the Overland and the horrid monstrosities of the Underlord. His lust for power has reached its peak, but the coming invasion may not be exactly what it seems. So yeah, that is book number 1 in the Heroes Metal series, with book number 3 coming out not that long ago in October of this year, so go check out that one today. Alright, next up is a book coming from Darby Harn, which I actually covered in my last Indieverse episode, because they have the upcoming Kickstarter here pretty soon, but they also have another book called Stargun Messenger. It came out this year, and he's been describing it as if David Bowie wrote Star Wars, so I mean, that has my interest. Also, the color scheme is really working for me. I love this pink and blue theme going on here. It will make you laugh, it'll make you think, and it'll leave you feeling entertained and empowered. So that's definitely very interesting to check out here. And looking at Stargun Messenger here on Goodreads, it's sitting at a 3.78 right now, with 27 ratings, 16 reviews. Astra Idara is a mess. She drinks too much, remembers too little, and barely pays for it at all as a Stargun Messenger. She hunts down thieves who steal Filamentium, the fuel that allows for faster than light travel. When Adara meets Gin Amara, she meets the girl of her dreams and the last living star. There's just one problem. Filamentium is only found in the blood of living stars. So yeah, this sounds very interesting here. And if David Bowie wrote Star Wars, so I mean, that has my interest there alone. So again, that is Stargun Messenger by Darby Harn. But the next book is coming from R.E. Sanders, with that being A Path of Blades, which came out just a few months ago. And checking this one out on Goodreads, it's sitting at a 4.42 right now, with 26 ratings, 18 reviews, and just came out back in August of this year. Ingvar Devrel is a fighting knight tasked with defending his country whenever he is called to battle. Violence and war provides no glory for Ingvar, who only wants to be at home on his rural estate. His dreams of a quiet life are shattered as he becomes a pawn in the ambitious schemes of others. How will his friendships and families cope with the forces that try to tear them apart. Which path will he choose? So this is looking really promising here by R.E. Sanders. I've actually heard great things about this online from other people reading this book right now. So again, that is A Path of Blades by R.E. Sanders. So go check that one out. But the next book has actually been a book that's been on my radar for a while now, coming from Joao F. Silva, with that being The Seeds of War, which is an awesome looking book in the Smokesmiths series. One breath, one jump, one death. So this is an epic looking cover here, so I'm super excited to check this one out. And he's also telling us that we have a prequel novella called The Ruins of Smoke here. And he's telling us that The Ruins of Smoke is a prequel novella in the series that you can go check out right now, that came out not that long ago, back in August of this year. So this is only sitting at 130 pages, which is, you know, right in line for a novella for me. Sitting at a 4.61 right now with 69 ratings, 51 reviews, so that's awesome. The Ushrian Empire rules the known world with an iron fist. Imperials protect their world from the tainted hand of the deceiver, but he is back with an avatar that is capable of breaking the empire and grounding humanity into ash. So this might be a perfect book to go check out from Joao F. Silva to get into the Smokesmith series, because it's looking really promising. It's getting super high reviews as well. And the first book in the series is sitting also really high with over 108 reviews, so really promising here. That is being The Seeds of War, the Smokesmiths series. Alright, next up is a book coming from Daniel Meyer, with a book being called Rising Shadows. That has a cover that's just nightmare inducing because it's very traumatizing looking, but I also love it at the same time. And he's saying that his first novel, Credible Threats, Sam Adams' book number 1, came out last year. The sequel, Rising Shadows, would be out early next year. And looking at this one on Goodreads, you can see that it hasn't been read just yet, which makes sense since it's not out yet. So let's go look at Credible Threats. So looking at book number 1 here in the Sam Adams series being called Credible Threats, it's currently sitting at a 4.56 with 9 ratings, 7 reviews, which is great. Sam Adams, 16-year-old wizard, has zero interest in saving the world, but staying out of the line of fire isn't an option for wizards. When a new designer drug hits the streets, giving ordinary humans magical powers and leaving a trail of bodies in its wake, it threatens to turn his city, a Williamsport, long-simmering conflict between the haves and the have-nots, into a full-scale war. So that sounds actually really interesting to me. A designer drug giving magical powers. I mean, that sounds kind of cool, to be honest. So yeah, again, that is Credible Threats by Daniel Meyer. So be on the lookout for that. And it's book number 2 coming out later next year, which is called Rising Shadows. Alright, the next book is coming from Jonathan Navarre, and he's telling us that my latest standalone Agent Renault Sci-Fi adventure, To Spy a Star, released on December 5th. So just this month right now, at least when I'm recording this, Agent Renault plays cloak and dagger against her most formidable opponent yet, a ruthless and cunning expert at cards, and more deadly arts besides. And look at this one, Goodreads is sitting at a 5.0 right now with 8 ratings, 6 reviews, and this cover, by the way, looks awesome. This looks right up my alley with this green and purple kind of contrast there. It looks super cool. 1 star can break a galaxy. To Spy a Star, a fast, fun, and fiercely entertaining standalone sci-fi adventure. So yeah, this is definitely right up my alley. A sci-fi adventure? Sounds like fun to me. The next book is coming from Michael R. Schulethis. Hopefully I said that last name right. I apologize if not. But that book is being called Ark of Ascension, a space opera adventure, which has a really cool looking cover here, coming out just back in November of this year. A planet of zealots, an alien danger. Can she save her sister? Bounty huntress Evela Taru never wanted to return to her homeworld, where religious zealots preside over brooding alien ruins and flickering hollow ghosts. But when Evela learns her sister has fallen under the sway of a fireband cult leader and plans to merge with a dangerous ancient alien artifact, she has to make an exception. So currently that's sitting at a 4.0 with 2 ratings, 1 review so far. So again, that is Ark of Ascension, being a debut novel by Michael R. Schulethis. Alright, next up is a book by N.J. Alexander, with that book being called Fogbound. Currently, Fogbound is sitting at a 5.0 with 8 reviews, 9 ratings, and this came out just in October of this year, so not long ago at all. Brave the fog, embrace another self. When war descends upon the nation of Interva, history teacher Xerxian Volnare is thrust into battle for both his homeworld and his own mind. Inkarth, the neighboring county to the north, has invaded Interva to remove King Duran from the throne. As an Antivian army scours the capital for soldiers, Xerxian discovers a long-dead legendary hero can control his mind at will. While he fights to keep the curse a secret and maintain his autonomy, the meddlesome hero has other plans. Again, that is Fogbound by N.J. Alexander. With that being book number 1, I think in a series called Echoes of Nero. I probably butchered so many names right there, so I apologize for that. But it looks really promising, and again, thank you, N.J. Alexander, for providing us this book to go check out. Right, next up is a series by James Lloyd Doolin with a book that came out in early this year in January, and the sequel that came out in October of this year, with that being the Maelstrom series. With book number 1 being called No Heart for a Thief. And looking at this one on Goodreads right now, it's sitting at a 4.23 with 95 reviews, 196 ratings. So that is awesome. We are the stories we tell ourselves, even the lies. The Thief, a great spirit, and her descendants have abused their ability to steal magic for centuries. When Kalo starts to hear the song of other people's magic, he must learn to hide from his people as well as the invaders. A gift or a curse, Kalo must be able to save his people from the Gauchut Empire that claimed their land with this stolen magic. 18 years later, Kalo still prays to the spirits, but not out of loyalty or love. He knows better than to rely on those selfish bastards for anything. While hiding in the forest of his foolish acts of rebellion, he encounters a girl, Tayan, being pursued by 2 soldiers of an empire. Against his better judgment, he risks facing the consequences of his past to intervene. Again, that is No Heart for a Thief by James Lloyd Doolin, with the second book that came out just in October of this year. So go check out that series today because it looks really promising, and you can see that a lot of people also think it's great as well. Alright, next up is a shout out by Ryan Skeffington, who is the author of Lost Souls, but he's pointing out another book that was released recently by Ryan Patrick, with that being called The Martian Incident. And Ryan is telling us that you are immersed into a fast-paced POV, taking you through what space flight and surviving on Mars would feel like. And looking at The Martian Incident on Goodreads right now, it's sitting at a 4.38, 6 reviews, 8 ratings, and this came out just in December of this year, so not that long ago at all. John Cameron is a NASA engineer working as a spacecraft accident investigator as humanity expands throughout the solar system in the late 21st century. When a mysterious UAV crashes in the American sector of Mars, he joins the interagency team to investigate the downed aircraft. But what starts as a simple mission turns into anything but when they make an astonishing discovery deep beneath the sands of the Red Planet. So yeah, I think this is a great call out here by Ryan Skeffington for Ryan Patrick's book, The Martian Incident. It looks really promising. It looks right up my alley. So I think you should go check this one out. It's brand new. Again, that is The Martian Incident by Ryan Patrick. So thank you again, Ryan Skeffington, for providing us that shout out. Alright, the last book that I'm going to cover today is by an author named Tori Weed, with a book being called The Weight of Wishes, with a really cool image here to display this book, with a really cool looking cover that looks very cool. I'm looking at The Weight of Wishes right now. It looks like it comes out in January 2024, so next month, so not that far away. But we already have some Ark reviews here, which is great. Sitting at a 4.43 with 5 reviews, 7 ratings, which is great to see. If dreams can come true, it is vital to remember that nightmares, well, they exist too. Saren was only 4 when the Stellan King killed her mother. 16 years his servant, Saren understands her place in this cruel court. Stay quiet, stay out of trouble, and most importantly, stay alive. But now, the Fae King wants her dead too, and there is only one way to stop him. Thrust into a challenge not undertaken for centuries, Saren must navigate trials more dangerous and more twisted than she can ever imagine. So yeah, that looks really promising. That comes out here pretty soon. So yeah, we covered a ton of fantastic looking books right here that I'm super excited to check out here pretty soon. And I know I probably missed a few books in this list here, at least probably a ton really, but I'm doing this once a month, so be on the lookout, post on Twitter asking for all indie authors to post their upcoming releases so I can cover your book on the next installment of the Indieverse. If you're sticking around this long, you've earned 1 XP token, and if you're already a subscriber, you get an extra XP token, so here you go. Thanks again, have a good one, keep reading, peace.